Okay guys, let's put together your 8-page zine. We're going to start with a new document. And the size we want on this, you can go to print and you'll see these presets. What we're making is a half-page letter, and we want it on portrait so that it will be taller than it is wide. We want facing pages. Anytime you're doing a booklet or a magazine or a brochure that is staple bound, you want to do facing pages. And we're going to make this an 8-page zine. As far as the columns, right now I'm going to leave it at 1 column. That's kind of a layout call that I might change later. And the margins, I'm going to go just a little bit more than 1/2 inch because I want to allow room for the page numbers and because we don't have a lot of copy, so I want to give my zine a little space. So maybe something like that. I can always add more later. We're not going to put any bleed or a slug on this. We don't need fold marks because the brochure exports as facing pages, so it works differently. And we don't need bleed and trim because we're not sending this file to a printer. We're going to print this on our desktop printer, and I'm going to show you how to publish it as an EPUB and online, but we won't be sending it to a printer. Okay, so let's just create this file. And you can see I've got my facing pages, so this is the cover. I got 1, 2, 3 spreads, and then I'm on the back cover. So what I want to do first is I want to put a text box on all of these spreads just to get started. I might alter it later, but right now I just want to put it right on the margin, and I'm going to just hold the Option or Alt key and duplicate that so it goes into that margin. Then I'm going to click on both of these at the same time by holding the Control key and hit Command C to copy it. Then I'm going to click on page 4 and 5, and you can always tell what page you're on by the blue lighting up on the Pages panel. So I'm on page 4 and 5, and I'm going to go in here and paste in place. That way it sets those text boxes exactly where they were on the other page. So again, paste in place. Now I have all my text boxes in place except for the cover, of course, and the back, which are going to be more graphic solutions. So the next thing I want to do is I want to put page numbers on these pages. Now this is a small zine, only 8 pages. They can go much longer than that, and you really need to have your page numbers done automatically. So we'll go ahead and set those up on here, and you'll go to your master page, just like we did for the other brochure. And this time you're just going to go in here outside of your margin. You're going to put a box. And with your cursor in that box, you're going to go to Type, Insert Special Character, Markers, Current Page Number. And it's going to have an A because we are, as you can see by the Pages panel, we are on the A parent page. So I'm going to apply a style to them later, but for right now, I'm just going to leave it like that. So I'm going to grab that to duplicate it onto the other page. The easiest thing I can do is just hold the Option key and bring that over here. So same spot, just outside, by holding the Shift or Control key at the same time, it keeps it in line. So let me do that again close up. I've got this A, I'm going to hold the Alt or Option key, and then I'm going to drag it while holding the Control key, which will keep it in line. And I'm just going to bring it over here. And then I'm going to make this, instead of left aligned, I'm going to make it right aligned. And I'm going to move it into position. So we're just going to line it up. And the way you can tell to make sure this is the same amount is you can put a little box here from the edge of the box to there. Kind of an old-fashioned way of checking spacing. So you can see that it needs to go over just a touch, right to there. And then that's it. You're just going to get rid of those boxes. And that's it. We have our page numbers on there. Now if you go into the document, if I double click on page 2, 3, 4, you'll see that the page numbers are there automatically. And the way that we'll change the style on these will be to go to the parent page. So these aren't really editable from here. We need to edit them in the parent page. Okay, so next let's generate some content. Okay, I'm on ChatGPT, and you don't even have to have an account to do this. You just click on Try ChatGPT. It says Ask Anything, and what I want is a book cover title. So I'll do mine for Alvin Lustig since it's not on your list. So write, and I like to get options, so 10 options for a book title about the life and work of Alvin Lustig. And you can say stay logged out, and it cues you for it to log in to stay logged out. So one of these might work for my title. I'll take number 7. Copy that by hitting Command C, and I'm going to go to page 1. This is my title, and I'm just going to set that on there for now. And then I'm going to go back to ChatGPT, and this time I'm going to copy that, and I'm going to say write 3 chapters for a book about Alvin Lustig called, and then I'm going to paste that name. So this has given me the titles, but it's also given me copy, and I don't really want that yet, but I could still use these titles. So I'm going to grab this one, and I'm not going to put the chapter, I'm just going to put a language of form. So I'll paste that in to the first text box, my first spread, and then chapter 2, printed word imagined. I'll go in and paste that on the second spread, and then here's chapters 3. Okay, now all I need is the copy for each of these chapters. So all I've got to do is start with number 1, write. Each of these chapters should be 200 words, so write 200 words for a book chapter about Alvin Lustig called, and then I'm going to paste that. And there it is, 200 words. So I'm going to copy all that, go to chapter 1, and paste it. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the other chapters. Okay, so now I have the title of my book, I have my chapter titles, the body copy of all 3 spreads. So what I need now is to go and find some visuals. So there's 2 places I could look. One is, of course, Pinterest. So I could search for Alvin Lustig. I find Pinterest to be pretty reliable for stuff like this. So these are all Alvin Lustig book covers. So you can gather anything from these places. You can go to the websites. And here are a bunch of book covers, so I'm just going to save the image as, and I'm going to start a folder called Alvin Lustig Images. Okay, so you're just going to grab one after another. You can look on Google also. If I look on Google for Alvin Lustig Images, you can see I've got a couple of him. Don't be tempted to put too many pictures of the designer that you're featuring. It's really their work that we want to see. So this is a cool piece right here. So I can grab that, view file, hold the control or the alt click as it's sometimes called, portrait of him. What you really need to be careful of is pieces that are not actually the designer you've chosen, but they're about him. Here is an excellent example. This is about Alvin Lustig. It's not his work. It's someone who's put this on Behance. It could be a student, it could be a designer. That is not the work that we want to see. Here's another one. That is not Alvin Lustig's work. It's a tribute to him. It's done by someone else. So make sure that here's another example. What I find is that if you see their name on it, it's not their work. It's about them. but it's not their work. So make sure that you're getting the pieces that your copy talks about also. As you start to read through your copy and edit it, you might change out photos and look for specific pieces of their work that you want to feature. But get started gathering some images. Next, I'm going to show you how to style this type and place all these images using a column layout.